We will continue to advance the state's interests, security, and prosperity of all. My dear people of Rivers State, on the 9th of September 2019, we kickstarted the celebration of the 100 days of our second time in office, and for 3 weeks we carried out the daily inauguration of completed projects as the main thrust of the celebration. The projects we inaugurated, which ranged from strategic road infrastructure, markets, and the Football Academy to senior civil servants' quarters and secretary buildings for labor and student unions, are testaments to our resolve to effectively utilize available resources to advance the current progress of our state and improve the well-being of our people. It is still early morning in our second tenure, and we have demonstrated that for us, there will be no lull in the administration of our renewed political mandate. Rather, we will increase the tempo of deliverables, fulfill our promises, and bequeath a much better state. We're happy to note that the soundness of our policies and governance have enabled us to grow the state economy, deliver so much on infrastructure, and improve the general well-being of our people under a difficult national economic climate. We wish to also state that we are sensitive to the agitation of our people for political and economic freedom, and we shall continue to respond appropriately to the challenges of development, either alone or in conjunction with our partners to advance our abiding interests in building the brightest possible future for our state and for all our people. It is for this sense of collective purpose that I am delighted to inform you that Rivers State Government has fully acquired Share Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria SPDC 45% interest in oil mining lease OML 11, situated in Ejema Ibubu community in Elime local government area and other adjoining Ogoni areas of Rivers State. Background facts. The background of incidents and processes that accumulated into this salutary development are as follows. Following a major oil spill from SDPC Trans-Niger High Pressure Crude Oil Pipeline at Ejema community, an approximate area of 255 hectares of arable land for agriculture, fishing swamps, and rivers were devastated. SPDC admitted that the oil spill came from their pipeline and occurred sometime in 1970. They paid some compensation to the community in the sum of 300,000 naira sometimes in 1986 and promised to come and depollute the area. SPDC failed to depollute the area, which gave rise to a lawsuit in 1991, commenced at the High Court of Rivers State in Chia Division, presided over by Honorable Justice P.N.C. Agumagu, now retired. At the end of the trial, the court found against SPDC and entered judgment in the sum of 1 billion naira, in addition to an order for SPDC to clean up the spill or pay 6 billion naira in lieu thereof. SPDC appealed the judgment. During the pendency of the appeal, the jurisdiction of the State High Court was taken away and donated to the Federal High Court by a subsequent judgment of the Supreme Court. The Ejema Ibubu community considered SPDC's appeal without a formal hearing. The community commenced a fresh suit in 2001 at the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, this time against SPDC and its parent companies, Shell of Netherlands and Shell of United Kingdom. This fresh case commenced in 2001, passed through 4 different justices of the court, arising from twists and turns associated with opposed litigations, until it was disposed of about 10 years after, in June 2010, by Buba J, the 5th judge to preside over the matter. SPDC and its parent companies appealed the judgment at the Court of Appeal in 2010, which again suffered the twists and turns, passing through 6 different panels comprising 3 justices each between 2010 and 2017, before it was finally disposed of by the panel of that court led by Gumel JCA of the Port Harcourt Division. The appeal was dismissed. SPDC and its parent companies took up a further appeal to the Supreme Court of Nigeria in 2017, which appeal was considered and dismissed by that court in a judgment read by Honorable Justice B. Akas, Justice of the Supreme Court, delivering a lead judgment in a unanimous decision. After losing at the High Court, SPDC gave the successful Ejema Ibubu plaintiffs a bond guarantee stipulating the First Bank of Nigeria Limited will pay them the value of the judgment debt and interest thereon in the event that SPDC's appeal to the Court of Appeal fails at that court. The original bank guarantee is still with the community. When SPDC's appeal failed at the Court of Appeal, Shell instructed the bank to dishonor their guarantee, which did and gave rise to a series of 6 different litigations in various courts against First Bank and the Central Bank of Nigeria. SPDC's excuse was that they had lodged an appeal at the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The enforcement cases had been to Owerri, Abuja, Lagos in 6 different lawsuits. On the 11th of January 2019, Shell's appeal was dismissed by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The judgments of the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court were registered in the United Kingdom for enforcement over their against SPDC parent companies domiciled outside Nigeria shores. Enforcement of judgment in Nigeria. 1. The Ejema Ibubu community commenced enforcement by domiciling the judgment in the State High Court and levying execution on SPDC movables in the industrial area in Port Harcourt. Those charters were attached on the ground but not removed. SPDC invited the community and offered them 7 billion naira as against the judgment debt of 194 billion naira, who the community refused to accept. The community approached the court for an order granting them leave to sell SPDC's immovable property comprised in OML 11 and their Kidney Island support base in Port Harcourt. Upon the advertisement of the said immovable assets for auction, the Honorable Attorney General Commissioner of Justice alerted the government of the state, Rivers State government's decision to buy. I've given due consideration of the foreign factors from information made available to me that this oil spill impacted the Ejema Ibubu community in the Elebe local government area of Rivers State from the activities of SPDC. That the impact is still there and unremediated since 1970, as admitted by SPDC ventilators they wrote seeking to clean the spill in 2006 while the case was at the trial court. That the Rivers State government has suffered, that the Rivers State has suffered the worst impact of environmental degradation resulting from oil-related operations. That the very difficult swamp and mischievous waterlogged terrain of the Rivers State has impeded development as a result of increased construction costs on the near and non-existent infrastructures and attendant rapid decay of the little we have been able to achieve as a result of oil-related acid rain and black soot enveloping the state. That this phenomenal degradation and impoverishment have continued with the decline of revenue and inflation, lack of employment of well-educated Rivers State youths, idleness and restiveness arising from want. That SPDC is said to have paid the sum of $2 million only for the renewal of the operatorship and interest in the said OML 11 to the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. That for the past 25 years, the rich oil potentials of OML 11 have remained untapped following the hanging of the world-renowned Ogoni poet and environmental activist, Mr. Ken Sarawiwa, and the Ogoni Nine, as well as the unfortunate mob lynching and death of 4 prominent Ogoni citizens, one of whom was the former Secretary of Government of Rivers State and another, a commissioner, under the tenure of Lieutenant Colonel Daouda Musa Komo as Governor of Rivers State. That it has become unlikely that for peace and security, the people of Ogoni in Rivers State will welcome SPDC on their land forming part of OML 11. that a lot of revenue is lost to the Federation account accruable to the 55% stake of the federal government in OML 11, and by extension, the rest of the federating states of Nigeria, due to non-production of nearly 250,000 barrels per day of its crude oil potentials, equaling 1/6 of the country's total output per day. Now, the Rivers State government has continued to lose 13% derivation fund from the said 55% stake of the federal government in that field for nearly 30 years now, which revenue would have transformed the state and its peoples for the better. That rather than stand by and watch other persons or group purchase SPDC 45% interest in that OML 11 and further exacerbate the poverty of the people of the state, a responsible and responsive state government should weigh in and bid for the purchase of SPDC interest already set down for auction, that the present government of the River State entrusted in my care through the will of God and those of the people of the River State have concluded that it will be in the overall interest of the state, the other federating states, and the federal government that we, as a government, should make a bid for the purchase of the said interest of SPDC now placed on auction by extant order of the courts of law. Therefore, I directed the River State Ministry of Finance Incorporated to make a bid of $150 million supported by a bank guarantee and cash payment to the Deputy Sheriff in the sum of 1 billion naira, the latter payable to judgment creditors while the former is escrowed. I further directed the relevant government agencies to take immediate steps to liaise with any financially capable companies to partner with the River State government to ensure that the said oil food come on stream. In line with our commitment to accelerated development, industrial harmony, and security, the River State government will graciously concede some portion of its 45% equity interest to all the oil producing communities within OML 11 to enhance mutual ownership, participation, and sharing in the benefits of these resources. I have taken these steps with all sense of responsibility, believing that addressing the pains and poverty of our people with the resultant security and welfare of its people is the main purpose of governance and nothing less. Without any doubt, this is a profound economic investment with profound and enduring positive implications on peace, security, development, and prosperity for the oil-bearing communities of OML 11, the entire River State, and our country. In this, I have attached a certified true copy of the judicial certificate of purchase of land and immovable property dated 25th September 2019, issued by the High Court of River State under Order 709 of High Court River State in reference to suit number PCH 1696/2019 between Government of River State of Nigeria versus Chief Isaac Osaro Agbara and 5 others, and Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria and 2 others. And this also has been registered with the Land Registry. Thank you, and may God continue to bless and prosper River State.